I did my MTech from IIT Delhi, I think 7-8 years before. So in my entire career, I have been primarily into the B2B applications, like making B2B applications, like many the front end. So my main expertise, like I claim to be expertise, but not exactly like that, but in the front end domain. So from last 2 years, before 2 years, we are using our in-house frameworks and other things like similar to Backbone and other kind of things. So later on the from last 2 years, I've been primarily working with the React code basis. So yeah, you can say 1.5 years basically. So how many of you already familiar with React and okay? And how many of you actually using React in your company code base? So that's very less. Or Angular people? Yeah. And other than that, who are using Backbone then? So others are what kind of in-house frameworks are you using, or what kind of
Ember.
Ember, good. Ember is like a rock solid horse. Any other frameworks currently you are studying or
I was doing some internship on Node.js.
Okay. Okay, I was discussing. I was asking basically more on the client side kind of things, what kind of client side framework. Node.js is kind of platform, you can say it. So anybody of you you might have a senior position done something from the scratch, building the whole applications. Anybody have such kind? So we are quite mixed crowd things. So that is entirely in JavaScript.
Yeah, it's in EXT.js. And
Okay,
backend is
EXT.js.
in Java.
Oh, backend is Java. So you do the REST communication kind of.
So everything UI is just kind of an application.
Okay. So friends, I don't have much on the slide because I just have more things to discuss and communicate the ideas and how this React business comes into action. So maybe I can just add a new slide together. So I can switch here and here. Okay, so the very basic problems what is exactly the client side applications are nowadays so the overall, as I see this whole, can I get a black marker? This green is not to be used because its intensity is low. Can I get a black marker?
Big marker.
Black or red?
Red.
Yeah. So basically, so as I see the whole whatever we are developing web application per se, or maybe B2B applications, client application, BA websites, overall in a bigger picture, the problem is like this: we have some kind of database sitting over there. Now database do not have a UI of it. Okay, database means it's a plain what do you say, storage. So we can at a very top level we think that it is something some kind of storage. All the values are there. Okay. Now it can be a 30 GB also. It can be a 30 MB also. Now the problem is we want to see this database values on our browser. Fair enough? Now solve the problems and things. So reusability. So first one is the reusability. So what is the definition of reusability? Can anybody like हेलो आप मुझे 2 घंटे में कॉल कर लीजिए, मैं भी मीटिंग में। 5 बजे। Okay. So what is the definition of reusability in terms of our front-end domain? Can anybody define that thing?
Can be used wherever we need it, wherever it is required.
Okay.
A single thing.
Okay.
For example, it's a component.
Yeah. So basically, what reusability means, like you should not repeat yourself. So this comes with the principle of do not repeat yourself. Do not repeat yourself means if you write a code, you should be able to use it again. But normally, what developers end up with, they do like they develop something in one code base, then okay, that is working, that's fine. But because that code is kind of very hard coded in the current application, the only possible way to reuse it, just copy paste the same file again. Okay, so that is the something which like current definition of the normal, like the majority of the UI development is done. So React comes with very specific notion like React and web component. Those are the very two excellent method to define your reusable components. So this is the best feature like I like in the React. No doubt other also give those features, but this is the first feature. Other like problems we face basically in UI development, like we start with the code base and slowly due to because we are adding lot of things also, in 1 year or 2 years it got bloated. We don't know. So there are two things are there, like JS bloatness and CSS. So normally whatever projects I have seen, I have not seen anybody like let's suppose if their project is there with 10 pages, maybe 20 pages. Now 20 page product is there and one day manager says this first page I need a revamp. Just delete this, we don't need this first page. Now what will happen if the code base is written for the first page? If you are unable to delete this code base which belongs to first page because you have not needed it, then it is a good code. If you are just making a hide kind of thing and you are thinking that just let it be in that code base, we are not using it, we are not calling it. Because you don't know whatever CSS you written for the first first page, you might be using some other pages also, and you don't know how much, in what way it will affect the other pages also. So I'm not seen like any product like where you delete CSS. So if you not it, just delete it, because there's a constant worry about also like if I delete something happened, let it be. I'm just creating a new CSS. Are you having the same experience like mine? Okay.
Yes, it happens.
Yeah, it happens out of it. Yeah. So especially the CSS, like whatever technologies you are doing, it's like a totally kind of a unmanageable kind of things. It's always like you start with some kind of bootstrap kind of things. Uske baad it's kind of append. It's never like a refactor and never like a delete kind of things. It's always like this. Same happens in JavaScript also. You don't use it, just let it be. Just use new modules. वो कचरा बढ़ता रहता है. So that's a problem which is like happen with the scalability kind of things. So for me scalability means you should be able to add new features. You should not be restricted by your architecture path you chosen for. For example, like how I like define this like scalability kind of things. So if your manager says like can you add this link, when the link is clicked, new pages to be open here, or already one tooltip you have shown which has some kind of information in the like there on the first page, can you just use this show the tooltip in this like another page? Then you say for manager it's like already there on the first page. For him it's like just maybe one day task, but you'll say something like, no sir, because we are using different thing and the XHR call it different. There it was cached, but it was saying some different data things. Let me think, and probably it will take 5 days. So normal expectations, like as a user also, if we see that yeah, तो हो जाना चाहिए था, like एक दिन का काम है, but it takes time because we are confined and restricted by the architecture path we have chosen for. So slowly, this like code is also our code is get bloated. So those are the basically two problems like I'll see. Anyone like if I go to my median, I just listed also. So just I prepared a kind of presentation on like that was like not with the topic. Is it how we'll go the So this presentation was not part of this like presentation, but now I was talking about the things like I just quickly go here just 1 minute. So like if you're writing JavaScript code and you are on the right track, what are the key parameters? I think you should think about like you're on the right track. So you can spell your ties. So just like 1 minute, and we'll move to the React again. You fear touching your old code base. No, I don't want to touch this code base. I don't know what thing will happen. You fear replacing old code base. Okay? You don't know exact flow of the. Don't be like offended by like I use you, not exactly mean by you. It's just like a simple like include me also. Like if we don't know exact flow of the application because some framework is doing some magic for you. Okay? So like lot of things like it happens like we use some kind of code base and it do a lot of things for us and we don't know exact part. So that's called kind of a what is it? Defined path. Or you yourself know that right now I'm doing some kind of jugaad because I'm in a hurry and later than I can fix it. And that fix will never happen. So we ourselves know this we are doing this same thing and that will like a jugaad over there. Your framework or library forcing you to certain way. Okay? Automate many things that you cannot get a control. So like it has like a horse lady sitting on the horse, but there is no, what do you call it in English this? Chabuk kya jo lagam hota na jo. There is no control over it. It's like, so we should need some kind of framework which has 100% control whatever you want to have it. So like the code duplications. Never do code duplication like this tooltip is there working somewhere, just copy paste it. So we don't need to, so that's the way you need a continuous code reflecting also. Dead end. Okay, I just went with this framework and this kind of things. Now this framework guys are doing kind of a new revamp, and it's totally kind of not possible to migrate the code base. Okay, so I am doing some kind of X framework 1.2.3, but 1.2.4 is have drastic changes, and I will end up with that one. All my plugins I am using, which are using old framework, I cannot manage it. So it's kind of dead end kind of things. Yeah, and you cannot move if you create some kind of widgets. I'm not saying that all of you are having some problem, but yeah, these are the problem I face basically. These are the problem I face in like other code bases which I try to solve. Like you have some kind of widgets or kind of component which just stick with the DOM. Okay, so like you, as I said, that first page having some kind of tooltip with some kind of data, but in the second page, because of some kind of architecture path or kind of things, that is stick with the DOM structure. Okay. Now, like for example, like there was some widget over here. Okay. Now this widget was having some kind of button over there. and if you like one day if you move it from here to here, whatever, your whole widget will be probably moved to the bottom, which was the desired part, but some of the button is still hanging over there. Probably used the fixed position and it was lying over there. So I'm just figuring out what are the problems we faces, and something which is obvious, it takes time. It's obvious, like it's just like a tooltip is already shown over there. I can just show it here also, but it should take a 1 day task, but it's taking 5 days. One thing, like reproducing bug is not easy. So something like your managers have said something like this is the production site, it has a spelling mistake, just correct it. If the bug will be created, then you will try to like reproduce that thing in your local, and that reproducing may take time because it needs certain parameters to show up that window with that kind of a dialog and that kind of server message from server. When you go to this path, you will find this one and then correct it, then you try to solve it. So even though it's like an interview that it's like a one spelling mistake change, but it takes a lot of time. So that's like so I'll give a slight hint on of how we can like fix production bugs very easily also using a static server. And if you're frustrated, obviously you're doing a wrong codings. And all images are copyrighted by some unknown users. I just copied from internet. So that was a basic kind of a thing we were like problem is faced, and to detect are we doing a wrong path or right path. Okay, so now how the React comes in the picture. Before I discuss more on React, I'll go with the basic paradigm which React is using. So now this like you probably know how this CRT monitors works, like CRT VGA monitors, which are not digital. What they do basically, they like have a frame rate. Okay, so like you have a monitor over here. What they basically do when you see a VGA monitor like on a TV kind of things, or maybe video game console, they don't have some kind of this is my dome or this is my boundary, this kind of things. What they have? Very basic notion of like a frame. This is just one image, and they do like this. So this is like one frame of something. This is again one frame of something. Okay. So in video games or VGA monitor CRTs kind of, they do a very simple thing. They don't do kind of DOM kind of manipulation kind of thing. That doesn't happen like this. It's another kind of thing. They push something on frame, and there might be some frame rate. Let's say that 60 frames per second might be as frame which we want. So they push images just by 60 frames per second. The same concept like video game manufacturer also do it. If you like we do admin console and we do like a lot of graphic thing, tooltip kind of things. Now if you try to think that very complex video games need to be created using the HTML5 CSS, we will not be able to imagine the first sound. मतलब ये कैसे होगा 3D में घूमेगा, कहाँ का उसका क्लिक होगा, कहाँ पे डोम जाएगा, डोम तो अपना डोम is like a 2D. How we can make it 3D kind of thing, because 3D dome is not present, only it's a 2D structure kind of things. So it's quite difficult to imagine like when you want to make a video game kind of things. So video game developers have very simple concept like, which I read about, like they don't deal with like this is section is my dome or some kind of things. What they do basically, they just render what is needed. That's it, and they render at a particular frame rate. That's it. That's the way they're able to manage the solve the complex problem. So this is what the concept of React also. So typically like so you don't worry about the like various states in of UI. Okay. So I'll say how like we normally I'll give you an example like let's suppose we want to fetch a user list. We want to fetch a user list from XSR call and we want to append it just like a bullet list. So normally like in like old technologies or if you are using templates kind of things, so you prepare some kind of templates and you make a kind of we make kind of templates with if else conditions. So if this data is not present, because initially data is not present, okay? So you basically, even if you use Backbone, so it's Backbone, what you do basically, you land up with a empty div kind of things. So something like user list will be loaded here and कुछ उसका image का घूमने का है. And this is my main div. Let's suppose id is equal to xyz. Okay. Then what you do in the init function? We send the XHR calls. So some XHR call. When it receive it, when we receive the data. So now we get the data. So what we do basically is set dot $el, which is our container itself, and then we use like some templating of this XYZ template is there. That will be like merge data with this template. So some HTML code is there. So we have some HTML underscore template might be or Handlebar templates, which has some we put some data over there. We get a kind of HTML string over it. What we do basically, we find this ID, which is $el kind of things, and we do dot inner HTML kind of things. I hope you are able to understand what I'm saying basically. So in the UI, what initially it was doing? Initially, like we get something on the one state, which is like empty state kind of thing. Okay. Now we have another state which data has come. This thing is easy to manage because we are having only two states. And now whatever logic we are doing, we are focusing our logic and splitting the things. Like first user will load this thing, and user will make an XSR call and data will come. And that till that time we'll show some loaders, and when the data will come, we will generate a new HTML and kind of and we'll append it also. We'll make some what happens that when you click something, there is some cross button is there. Okay. If the user do some delete kind of operation, then it will we need to go again to template and generate new things. Okay. So what happens like this permutation combinations go beyond the list when this number increases. So we are not having only one template for the kind of which need to be shown, because if it is a one template, it's easy to manage. But something like when you click something, new pop-up will come, or some kind of new operation can come. So my point, what I'm saying is, whatever we are doing done in the Backbone kind of things, where we like appended and remove the DOMs and all these kind of things, which is we can end up with something which is unmanageable kind of situation. Okay, so React come with a different kind of thing. Let's suppose if you want to have one template, okay, then how we can do the things. So the same problem, how React solve in this domain. Okay. So let's suppose I create a one template. I'll show how to do this thing in React, but for a time being, there are not multiple things. Whatever things we have, like data comes or not, whatever conditions are there, whether data present or not, whether whatever states we have, we do all the manipulation in one template. That's it. If you try to understand a big picture, this is what it is. So what I'm saying is basically, so this is what our data is. Data set. So data set means some kind of variables are there. Initially, some data might not be present, so we can wait from server also. From server, some data is coming. It might be async process. It is async process. So some data will come late. Okay. So assuming this data set will be changed. Assuming that this data set will change it. So how this data set will change? User will do some action, like if you click something, if you delete some nodes, this data set will change. Data set means like kind of you can say store in terms of React. So when you load something, server also push something on it, because initially when we loaded this data set, it was almost empty, no user data will be there. So server data also. So what I'm saying is user actions and server actions change this data set. Okay. Now this React has very kind of specific things, like it's a transform function. For every component, there is a we write a transformation functions which convert. I'm just talking the very high level. Syntactically, it is incorrect to say like this. So we have some data, okay, and we have some kind of a transform function. It's kind of template, okay, and it convert into HTML, and you think like whenever you're doing something, you're doing kind of inner HTML kind of things. So let me give you again this more specific things. So I have just one big template, okay. Now this one big template has all the if and else conditions in it. Fair enough? There's an empty div is there. This is a big screen is there. In that screen, this div is specific. We allotted the small div which is specific to this component. Now, whenever the data set changes, we just re-render the whole this div basically. So if we do traditionally like inner HTML, okay. So if you do like set directly in HTML, what will happen? What problem you will get it? Because if you do inner HTML, whatever HTML was present on that div, it will go away. Like so this was the div basically initially, okay, which is having like 5 users in it, maybe 5 users, and there are some 5 close buttons are there. So already built some HTML CSS code is present in this div. Fair enough? Okay. Now what I did is I did a close button on this element. It is supposed to remove it. Okay. So what we basically do is we tell this data set, okay, that remove this element by some method. Now this data set will be data set or data store has like this user is removed. Now whenever this data changes, we are recomputing this template. Now because our data set is changed, if we recalculate the template, it will be a new HTML CSS string. Okay. So let's suppose this has some kind of ID is equal to XYZ. So if I do something kind of dollar has XYZ, this is to get this data to reach to this up to this point, and then I'll do inner HTML is equal to new string. Whatever new HTML string comes, I'll just directly assign it. Okay. What bad things it has basically? Can anybody tell me? Like this is a very simple thing, like I'm saying. Anybody? if I do like this, if I just do an inner HTML and I recalculate the template and push it again in the DOM, the problem it will get is like when you do inner HTML, the old HTML code, it will be like go away. Okay, so it's kind of it behaves like an iframe where you do refresh kind of things. Or this, for a moment, it will be a complete empty kind of things. Then it load new HTML. All 4 divs are there. So that is what we are dealing with the Backbone and other framework also. We, whatever we want to operate it, we go to, if you want to delete these things, we particularly go to that node and delete it, so that other nodes are not deleted. Or we want to animate something, we animate to that particular node itself, in order to get a good interface, because we are not removing HTML from the whole HTML from the DOM and append it again. Otherwise, it's a very crappy behavior. It is okay. React do exact almost same things, but with the intelligent technology. Okay. So what it basically do is basically in order to high level kind of things. So so let's suppose we are having this kind of there are 5 users initially with 5 cross buttons are there. I press this one cross button over there. Okay. Now this action will propagate to this place where it will affect the data. Remember, it is not affecting any DOM. First thing is this. It is affecting the data. Okay. Now this is intelligent enough and has some logics also, and it will decide whether I want to send some data request to server also. Let's suppose user need to be deleted from the server also. So what it will do is basically it will send some XHR call to server. So remember, till this time this fake user is already present in the DOM. Okay. Now this XHR call will go. Success response will come from server. On success response, we are having this like it's a kind of a array of objects, na? And some more things. So what we'll do is on success we'll remove this. We'll remove this object. Okay. Now this is still present right now. Right now what we did is we deleted from the data. You just play with the data. You don't need to worry about how this will take care, how this propagates to the DOM. Okay. So when I like delete this data, the render function will run away. Will run. Okay. So render function is basically in the React is basically a template. Okay. Now the new template will run. So it's like calculating a new string. So now because I have some less data, my new HTML CSS will be smaller than the previous one. Okay. So now I calculated the new, now React come in this picture now. So this was the current DOM. This is my current DOM it is. Okay. Now I told I told this React guy that okay, my data is changed, please re-render it. Okay. Now re-render will like now React will calculate the new, okay, this is the template you have provided me, this is the always template I need to run. Okay. Now new HTML CSS will be kind of created. It will be stored like this. You will see currently like this. So in the React, it has 2 DOM structure right now. One is like current DOM, one is like new DOM kind of things. New DOM structure. Now what React basically do is this compare what changes I need to do it. You got what I'm saying is. So that was kind of a very difficult problem for a developer to manage. They done an excellent job in like managing it. Now because from comparison of the DOM structure, they can say that okay, this DOM is need to be removed, or this DOM node need to be added, or it has like only one class change also, or it has just one style attribute need to be changed. Okay. So what it do basically, it compare the 2 things and it prepare a list. which need to be done in order to achieve from this to this. You got what I'm saying is? Now it applies those changes on this thing. So it will not be complete repaint on the whole cycle. I hope you are aware of the repaint. Repaint means like it's complete flush away the whole things. So with the, like if you follow the inner HTML analogy, so technically we are doing this with an intelligent manner. Okay? So with the React, like the, as I say, the biggest benefit I am getting it, I am not worrying about the intermediate states of the UI. What I mean by the intermediate state of the UI is like, if user click this one, then I need to animate, I need to write some animate code also. If user click on add button, this need to be hidden and this like something need to be shown. Okay? So we do lot of, so like there's a technical term for it. DOM is not storage. Don't use DOM for storage. So let's suppose I'll give the same analogy like this. So now we have user list over here and it has a button also. Add. Because it is a mobile device kind of this, we don't want to show the user list. Okay? We don't want to show the user list. When you click the add button, we want to hide it and show the user adding form. When the submit, we need to show it again. Now with this requirement, we need to modify again this kind of things on $self.$el.find hash add button dot on click. If I on click, go to this div and hide it and then form it visible it. Now this hidden and visible form is where this information is, where is stored it? It is stored in the DOM because you apply some classes for hiding these things and you check whether this is hidden or not or some kind of things. So we do a lot of state manipulation in the DOM itself. We store a lot of variables also in the DOM, and so remember like in this small example also our UI has a lot of states and we need to make our logic whether I am at add form, whether I am at listing form or whether at the very initial state where I don't have any data also. Okay, so we typically used to manage a lot of states, and this state management goes because when you add new features and new kind of improvement comes, this state management goes on and on. So it's quite difficult, like when you have some kind of bigger forms, a huge number of elements are there. Like when you click like some radio button over here, 20 elements component changes from this because of this one switch over there. So that's quite difficult to manage it. Now what React comes with a notion is, you don't need to worry about the state management. Just tell me what is the data. Just tell me what is the data. So for example, like if you think in React term, it will be something like this. So my data store will be having some kind of object where I can get a user list. It's an array. So initially my user list will be there, and what do you say? Showing add form false. Adding new user in progress false. I'm just giving some random example. So this is my initial DOM it is. Now if you want to make a template, it will be having like this, we call it as a state. So state.userList.length. If it is empty, so we can make a template like this. If this list is empty, show loader, else listing functionality. If showing add form is true, then show that form. Otherwise, show this. So there will be another if and else condition are there. Okay. So we are not worried about which state I am. All I am worrying about is my data. I know this data is my truth. All I need to write my transformation function, which result in a correct HTML CSS. You got what I'm saying? So all the if and else condition I'm writing over here itself, and nothing else. So whenever, even if like now what happens, like you may Ajax call to server and data comes, the data will be loaded over here because it's a user. So new objects array will be loaded over here. Now whenever this data set changes, whether it changes here, 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 anywhere, this function will run again. Okay? So it's kind of a very easy problem because we are listing out all the UI states, server state, everything on just one place, and we are doing kind of one transformation in this. So typically it is like your data set. This is my data set. It has all the multiple sets in it, and just you need to write this correct transformation function in order to delete. You don't need to worry about like I'm at this state and I need to hide this one because I'm at this, I need to toggle this one. Nothing. You don't need to worry about these things. So maybe if I show some of the like one of the code base. Okay, so for example, like I need to write it. Sorry. So, is this code visible to? Probably it is visible. So, like for example, this is something like component for the special events. The basic purpose of this component is to show the special event, whether some special events are present. Special events like holidays, these kind of things. So that it is included in some kind of calendar. So the calendar need to know whether some events are there, holidays events are there or not. Okay. Now that calendar is loaded initially, but events we need to get it events from the server. Now we need to get it from server, means like initially we will not have it. So this is what my template is. In the React component is all about this like render function. Render function, remember, render function run whenever its state is changed. So we are just whatever I shown like a data set, it's a state basically. It's rerun whenever this changes. So initially first time it runs, it will go to like condition like this. If it is null, then I need to show loader, otherwise this. You can see like if conditions are there. So when the first time it runs, because initial state of this variable is null, it will end up with a loader component. So loader will be shown at this. So it's another component. It's a special event by date component which has like a loader component. So you can use component inside component, like hierarchy you can make it, like other framework also. Okay. Now in the else case, what I'm writing is if it is not null and its length is greater than 0, okay, then like I'm just like listing out its name and config attendance like this. If the length is like not greater than 0, it's a kind of no events are there. So this is the end condition are there. So this is the kind of JSX syntax. Like don't worry about it. It's very like whenever if you not use JSX syntax, it will be look very horrible to you. Literally, anybody who first time use JSX syntax, because it's a JavaScript file. You know, it's a JavaScript file, and we are writing some HTML code in it. So don't worry about it. Like first time it looks very horrible. Like how the hell you are writing HTML tags inside the JavaScript basically. But even if you give a 5 day, like you will love it basically. So that was my point basically, that I was trying to make it. So the basic concept is like is this. So when it like this is like initially state of this component is null. I'm just making it null because I don't have these things. So when it will load it, so first time it will be loaded like this with a loader kind of things. Then immediately I am making a XHR calls. It is getting, and when it getting this data, I am using set state. Okay. So remember only one thing, like whenever there is a set state function runs, it means we will re-render the component. That's it. Okay. So there is no direct manipulation. You can do it like you go some kind of $XYZ and find the DOM node. What is the style? If it is like hidden, I can toggle it. Nothing. You never need to work like this in the React. In React, all you need to worry about the concept of the data and data. That's it. You can like tell your junior developer to just that this is my data structure is, and just write the kind of templates for this one, and he'll just do the all templates with the if-else condition, and all you need to worry about how my data is populated, how I change my data, how my data change will go to server, and from server changes will come to data. Okay, so like we have basically divided with using React our client side problem in a two kind of separate container. Separate things. So here it is HTML, CSS, DOM kind of things, and this is the data. This layer is basically a DOM-less DOMy layer basically, because this is having like all the React component, render methods and all these kind of things like events and handling kind of things. This affects the data points basically, and this is basically a DOM-less. Okay, so I want to make it a separation between what is DOM-less and DOMy basically. These are not very standard terminology, so that's why we need to define it. CSS, HTML in your whole code base, in the front end basically, whenever you write a code which affect DOM, then it belongs to this layer. Okay, whenever you write a code which do not affect the DOM structure directly, then it's belong to DOM-less. You got what I'm saying? At firing SHR call, getting some kind of a data crunching, processing it, generating some kind of a templating kind of things, and like if something is removed, you need to make SHR call back again. All these kind of things are not specific to DOM itself. What is specific to DOM is HTML code, CSS code base. If something got clicked, we need to make a kind of a callback kind of things. So this till the point we'll get a callback, it's a DOMy kind of things. From callback, because this is not specific to the particular DOM itself. So normally what happens like in UI code bases, we write everything at every one places. So like our 5 lines belongs to the DOM-less, 2 lines belongs to DOMy part, then 5 lines belongs to the DOM-less part. So our UI applications normally are quite clubbed together basically. So you need to think about whether I'm writing something very specific to like for example, if you can run something on console, mostly it is a DOM-less kind of things. It is not very specific to DOM kind of things. DOM का मतलब mainly it is a templating and event handling is the only code which is related to the DOM engine. And this is something around 30% of the UI code base. Rest 70% is all about the data layer. आपका lot of layers are there like data layer, etc. costs and all these kind of things are there. Data crunching, data operations are there. Which is basically 70%. With the React, we can have kind of clear-cut separation between the two layers as per se. So this is one of the another benefit I see of using React thing. Yeah.
Let's have a question and answer.
Okay, so this is like something I was discussing about why React kind of things. Quickly after the question answer, I can just go through like our code structure or how we are like what kind of project structure we are using it. So till this time, like, do you have any kind of question for me, like which I can answer?